Hello everyone, Joe Morton here for this edition of Positive In, a YouTube channel dedicated to putting positive in on a daily basis so positive can flow out in all the roles that we play each and every day. So here's my thought for the day, okay? Everyone needs to hear this. Every human being needs to hear this, okay? Because we all have days that are great, we all have days that are not so great. We all have moments where we question ourselves, our abilities to succeed in life, succeed in our businesses, succeed in our jobs, succeed in school, succeed as parents, spouse, whatever, friend, neighbor, all the roles that we play in society. We question ourselves. We question our ability to create greatness, okay? We also, in our minds, will question whether we can heal. We might be questioning whether we can actually lose the weight that we want to lose, feel the way we want to feel, heal the way we want to heal, have the energy we want to have. We'll question this. But here's the thing. You, my friends, each and every one of us, we are miracles, every one of us. And I was reminded of this just the other day. I was out hiking with my son. We were in Moab, Utah. It was absolutely gorgeous. And we were a couple miles off the beaten path, and we were just kind of going out and back. He wanted to show me this spot. And I scraped my leg. We've all done this. It's all happened to us. This is not something new. But for whatever reason, I was cognizant this time. Maybe because I was away from things. I didn't have a Band-Aid. It was bleeding. I thought, what can you do? So I just kind of went on with it. I thought, oh, I'll dress it up later. I'll clean it up later. I'll put a Band-Aid on it later. No big deal. Well, as I finished up and I still didn't have a Band-Aid, we got into town. We were going to go to dinner as a family. It had already started coagulating. It was already kind of solidified, and that, you know, the scab was starting to scab over. And so I was like, whoa. We're a miracle. For whatever reason, it stuck out for me, you know? And it's interesting. I was researching this. How is this possible? How does this happen so amazingly in our bodies? And the one article that I came by, this scientist says, most of us take wound healing for granted. If you get a small cut, you may clean or cover it with a bandage and move on in your life. Yet under the bandage or in the open air, the body orchestrates a complex cascade of events designed to heal wounds big and small. Our bodies are absolutely a miracle. And so I started to look into this a little bit. My brother happens to be a human anatomist. He's a PhD, teaches human anatomy at a med school. And so I asked him about this, and he was telling me, yeah, you know, and scientists have never really completely agreed on how many trillions of cells are in a body, but there's a lot of cells, somewhere between 37 and 70 trillion cells in our body, okay? And we're regenerating all the time. And let me just kind of throw out here what goes on in our body when this happens, okay? You cut yourself, simple cut. Okay, the first thing that happens, vasoconstriction, blood vessels leading to the wound tighten to reduce the flow of blood to the injured area. Number 2, platelets triggered by enzymes leaked from the torn blood vessel rush to the scene. These sticky blood cells clump each other together and then adhere to the sides of the torn blood vessel, making a plug. Number 3, clotting proteins in the blood join forces to form a fibrin net that holds the platelet plug in place over the tear or the cut in your skin. And in just seconds or minutes, depends on how bad the scrape is, the bleeding stops thanks to coagulation. That's what happened to me. I watched it almost, just watching it right there happen. Once the bleeding is being controlled, so the body takes care of the bleeding part, the next step is stopping the infections. Blood vessels that were constricted now dilate to bring white blood cells rushing to the scene. White blood cells engulf and destroy any germs that may have gotten into the body through the open wound. Now, of course, we know if the wound is a lot deeper, we got to take extra measures, make sure that you keep infection from happening, and I encourage everyone to do that. But we all kind of know. I mean, this one was more of a superficial. It did cut the skin. It wasn't too deep, so I wasn't too worried. And it wasn't a knife or something like that. It was a branch that I caught myself on. So the white blood cells jump in. They start taking care of things. When the enemies of blood loss and infection have been vanquished, the body turns its attention to healing and rebuilding, and then it goes into all the other different things, all the other different factors involved. So I was thinking about this. You know, our bodies regenerate completely. I started going through this process with my brother, trying to ask him the different cells. Cell types, there's lifespans. Granulocytes, 10 hours to 3 days are regenerated, these cells. Stomach lining cells, 2 days. You have new stomach lining cells. Colon cells, 3 to 4 days. Small intestine, 1 week or less. Platelets, 10 days. Skin epidermal cells, 2 to 4 weeks. Red blood cells, 4 months. Macrophages, months, between months and a year. Anyways, it goes on and on and on. It's just talking about basically, some doctors and scientists have said that within a matter of literally 1 year, you're like 95% a new body. Figuratively speaking, you know, because your cells are regenerating. Skin cells are regenerating all the time. And so, you're a miracle. You're a miracle. We are all living miracles. And it gives me comfort to know this. And when I think that I've got weaknesses, and we all do, sometimes we tend to dwell on them. Remember you're a miracle. Remember that your body regenerates. Your body has the ability, it's inherent in all of us to be able to heal. It's inherent in all of us to be able to overcome and become all that we can. I love it. So when you're thinking you're down a little bit today, possibly, just remember, you're a miracle. We all are. And life is amazing. Joe Morton here. Thanks for listening, and make it a fantastic day.